Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Real Talks on Podcast. Today, we are discussing about India-US relations, and there are a couple of things that I like to focus upon in today's discussion. So, one is that we have seen throughout this year how the India-US relationship has kind of transformed from the earlier years to today. If you see, Modi had personally invested the last decade in ironing out the relationship of India with the US, and at least for the past decade, we were seeing mounting kind of areas where both the countries were coming together. It also seemed that Modi had a very strong dynamic with Trump. In fact, Trump used to come to India, Modi used to go to US, and they used to hug each other. So it seemed at least a decade till like last year, as if America and India has come together, and it's good for India as we move along. But the episodes that have happened throughout this year has actually put a dent in the relationship specifically between Modi and Trump, and India and US. Actually, both of them have basically completely changed. In fact, with all the tariffs that Trump has imposed, initially 25% in April, and then following it up with another addition of 25% from 1st of October, we are now levied 50% tariff, and no kind of negotiation or any kind of strong footing, etc., has deterred Trump. What this ends up having is that today we are back to square one. It almost seems like any kind of delicate balance that Modi has been walking over the past decade, all has gone to basically nil at this point of time. And I don't decredit Modi in that, but I think it is the nature of how US policy operates. So even though it seemed initially that Trump is basically supporter of Modi, and a lot of right-wing people in India were also supporting Trump. Apparently, once Trump has come to power, he has been extremely ballistic, unpredictable, and if you go by the history of the U.S., India has never been a very good ally of U.S. historically. Past 10 years, I would say, were different, where both the countries came together and it seemed there was some closeness building. But I think in this year of 2025, things have taken a turn for the worse. So I would say that at this point of time, the same philosophy of non-alignment that India used to take during the time of Nehru, almost like 50 years ago, I think that's the strategy that India again has to levy. They cannot get very close to any party, and I still think that what we were thinking, that India is gaining its place in the entire world. There will be a multipolar world, and the world order, India will have its own place. Apparently, I think there is still miles to go to be able to arrive at a place where India becomes a serious player. China already is a serious player, and US directly sees China as a threat, and there is a one-to-one kind of a competition between the two. uh, India, I think, in the last decade, we were made to believe that we will be becoming the Vishwa Guru, and India, because was gaining closeness with the US in the past decade, and so it seemed that we are having a place and a say on the table. Apparently, that's not the case. We saw it at the Operation Sindoor when we had a war with Pakistan. Again, how the world behaved, how US basically supported Pakistan, China also supported Pakistan, and none of the players in the world basically came in full support of India. It made it abundantly clear that India is, like always, has been on its own, and they have to fight their own wars. It also seems like, I was like reading a couple of articles, I've also shared it in the description today, that India is not, I mean, there was a certain words that were used, that India is not white enough that it will become a direct ally of the US like how Europe is. Plus, India doesn't speak English enough That unlike many of the Anglo-Saxon partners like UK, etc., who are direct allies of USA, or we can even say they are like they are under the US hegemony at this point of time. We can even say they are extension of the US power actually in the Europe. And last but not the least, I think India is not rich enough. I mean, it's definitely a very big market with the population and the size and whatnot, but it's not as rich as even Canada or UK or France or any of the developed nations. So neither India is white enough, neither India is English enough that people speak a lot of English, and neither it is rich enough for US to take India seriously. So I think it's a reality check for us in 2025 that uh, we are not nowhere. Like there is a saying that in Hindi, right? Na teen mein na tera mein. Neither you are in the three, neither you are in the 13. You're somewhere in between. That's the state I think we are in at the moment. Neither we are too high that we are completely developed, neither we are completely dirt poor. We are somewhere in the middle actually, and that's where we can't pull our weight, we can't emphasize our strength, and US sees that, and as a result, US is bound to do what they want to do. They don't care whether Indians will be annoyed or they are required or not, and all the actions that Trump is doing seems like that he doesn't care as to if there will be difficulty for Indians, or if they do not come to the US, or do not send H1B people to the US, what will happen to the whole industry and things along those lines. And this also brings a fundamental point that uh, we have not become a world leader till date now. And in the world politics, also, we do not matter as much. Even our exports and all are not that much that basically we can influence or dictate any of the terms that we want. China can do that because they do send like very advanced technology. They also own a lot of APIs for critical drugs, and then they have rare earth metals also that they export. India doesn't have any of those kind of traits. In fact, for its oil consumption, it is dependent upon other countries. So I think in one way it is good that we got to know about the duplicity of the US and Trump specifically right now. And I think the relationship between Modi and Trump is at the rock bottom. I would have to say that, and even India is still trying to find its own place. Like where does it stand in the world order? I can definitely say that with whatever has happened this year, we haven't basically laid claim on the pole that India would have, because neither we have any kind of allies, neither we have any kind of enemies. I mean, we do have enemies in the sense of like Bangladesh is also trying to act strangely. Pakistan was already there. China can't be trusted. So we have a lot of home like enemies in our home turf itself, right, our neighboring countries. And then in addition to this, USA is also behaving very erratically. So I think uh, next year, as we move on, as we wrap up this year, it will be a challenging time, both geopolitically, economically, because as these tariffs start basically taking shape, it will create a lot of unemployment in India, not only in the tech sector, which I have told multiple number of times, but now all the garment industries, food exports, diamond exports, even medicines like drug exports, all these sectors will start showing distress, which will basically create a lot of unemployment in the India sector, and the unprecedented growth that we have seen in the real estate sector, the growth in the cities that we have seen with a lot of inflow of foreign exchange that used to come back is going to become difficult now. And from that perspective, I think it will be challenging a few months and even maybe a year or two, especially starting from 2026. So that's what I'm thinking. Maybe there are certain changes. I would love to see those, but how things are progressing, how much pressure India is getting, and I'm not blaming it on like Modi or the current dispensation, the government here in India. I think Trump is a completely ballistic missile, unmanaged ballistic missile, and we don't know what next steps he may take. which will impact India in a bad way. Um, so for now, I think it will be a very tough bullet to swallow at this point of time, and the coming year will create a lot of trouble for us, not only in the IT and the tech sector because of the AI and the outsourcing debacle that is playing out, but overall in the garment export business, the leather export business, food export, um, diamond and jewelry export, and drug export business, where India used to export a lot of things to the US and the remainder side of the world. So I think that's one side of the story. The other side of the story is that there is a lot of chest thumping that our politicians do. That one third of the Silicon Valley is now either from the people directly from India or people who are of Indian origin, and that's a very big deal. Yes, it is, right. And I have also talked about this when I was making the podcast about H1B visa. I've also talked about like a lot of top Fortune 100 or Fortune 500 companies CEOs are now basically Indians as well, or Indian origin, and that's something to feel proud and Indians can look up to. And I already talked about of the statistic that Indian immigrants are one of the richest and the most educated people in the US, and they have the least criminal record in the US as a percentage of the population, and they are the highest income taxpayers as compared to any other ethnicity, right? So the Indian population is less than 2%, but their contribution to the taxation is around 6%, which itself is oversized contribution as compared to the population, right? um, all those are good things, but is it, so that's the good part, but then there is a shadow which is not so good part of it. The shadow is, why is that so many Indians are moving to the US and becoming successful there? Why not at home base here itself? Is it really something to be really proud of, or are these people escaping the corruption, the pollution, the lawlessness that we have in India, and then going outside and making it big? I did mention these things during the podcast where I was talking about the H1B visa, $100,000 fees that you had imposed, and a lot of people were saying people will come back and they'll create big companies in India and things like that. Well, the fact of the matter is, nothing on the ground, even till today, has changed so much, which will encourage people to form new businesses, innovate in India. I mean, I just came today for doing some Diwali shopping. The weather is very good in Delhi right now because it's a cold spell, or maybe there are certain western disturbances. But the moment I came out, there was just unprecedented traffic, right? Even in the afternoon yesterday, I went to Noida. Even the main road had tons of traffic, even at 11 a.m., like 10:30, 11 a.m. Also, there was so much traffic. I thought it would be not office time and maybe there will be some breathing space. I was so wrong. Even today when I went out at around like 3 p.m., 3:30 p.m., still there was tons of traffic. Maybe it is due to Diwali and Dashera. There is a lot of stalls and just a lot of people are out on the road. But then each and every road that I was driving upon had so many potholes, it almost felt like that I am driving on moon's crater actually. I mean, the potholes are so huge and deep, and every inch, like I can't even imagine that. The roads that we build after every rainfall, there are just tons of potholes everywhere. That what kind of quality materials are we even using actually to build such kind of roads? This is just one of the things, right? I've spoken n number of times about the other issues that are pertaining India, but fact of the matter is that no matter which car you drive, the moment you go outside of your society, you will be hit with lot of traffic and tons of potholes. And the moment, like even yesterday it rained again, there was a flooding all across my society, outside my society, right on the road, not in my inside the society. So, fact of the matter is, that's how it used to be even 20 years ago, 30 years ago. It's the same situation even now. So, people who do not want to deal with this day to day hassle, they want quality of life, they want fresh breathing air, they want pothole free roads. For them, there is no choice because there is no city in India that offers them that liberty. So, of course, they are going to run towards Silicon Valley. So all your top tier talent, back in the day, like 20 years back, all like almost 70 to 80% of IITians used to go there. Then this thing started changing over the last decade or so, wherein maybe only 50% of the people were going, and many people started companies here. But if you see today, most of the companies started in the last decade or so. Many of them are actually started by IITians. None of them are profitable. I did an analysis also of Zomato, Nykaa, and Mama Earth actually, just to, because these were the so-called profitable startups or unicorns in India, and they're public also, right? So I did an analysis and told you the real fact that even the profit that these guys are generating are basically they're playing at a margin of 1 to 3%, which is basically negligible, because inflation itself in India is more than 5 to 6%, no matter how you slice and dice it, right? I would even say it is in double digit actually. At least official numbers are still 5 6%, but your profit margin is less than 3%. Like, it doesn't even make sense. Why would you run such a billions of dollars in revenue when your profits is not even few $1 million actually? That's where the problem is actually in India. And I can tell you that we don't know as to all these tariffs that have been applied on India, the overall geopolitics that is happening, and the uncertainty in the markets that we see with respect to employment, both in the white collar and the blue collar. It is going to be very, very, very tough times in the next year actually, as we wrap up this year. And I want to make sure that people understand that, it is one thing to be proud, and a lot of people do seek inspiration from all the top CEOs that are there in the US companies, whether it is Microsoft from Satya Nadella, or from Sundar Pichai at Alphabet, or Google, and there are a bunch of others, whether it is Adobe or IBM. All of them are like Indian origin folks who have become CEOs of these companies. And then, as I said, the whole Silicon Valley, almost one third of the people running the Silicon Valley are from Indian origin, or basically are Indians in particular. But it showcases that our education system, our business environment are not good enough, and as a result, people have to migrate outside to be successful. Actually, and nowadays, I think trend is that those who are unable to go to the US will try for like Canada, or go to Europe, Ireland, or UK, or even Australia. But even people have started going to like Dubai and Middle East. Some people have even ventured into Japan and South Korea, even China, but they do not want to live in India actually. So people like myself who have family, and we are in a basic bind whereby we need like housemaids and family support structure, etc. We are forced to come to India, and we have like accepted the fact that this is a fact of life, and we'll have to deal with it. But I also expect that our roads are clean, the environment is good, there is less corruption, people respect each other's time, people have privacy. Those things are just not there in India. I mean, while there are good things, I mean, see, I'm not saying this as a sense that there is nothing good in India. Of course there is good, that I can get maids, and I have family members, I can get really good vegetarian food, whatever I want. Service delivery is top notch in India. At least my apartment is neat and clean, so at least that's one less headache. I have a very good security system here. So those are all good aspects. But then, basic infrastructure of the city should also be good, so that my life becomes easy, it becomes seamless, so that I should not keep questioning my choice, that why did I basically come to India, right? If at least those basic problems are solved, a lot of things will be easy in India. Unfortunately, even with this, today we have not arrived at that state. uh, we lot of us thought like BJP will be different, and it will do a lot of development and things like that. Apparently BJP is turning out to be another Congress actually. It's just the other side of the same coin. And as a result, we are seeing all the repercussions out here. And it is also very clear that all the jumlas that the government had given with the relationship that our name has become very big in the world and all, it has all completely vanished actually this year, because truth is that India is still figuring out what where it stands in the world order, and at least we do not own a space wherein people will come and align with us, because we are not a magnet for either talent or technology or innovation. US is on the one hand, China is on the other hand. India stands nowhere, neither in the infrastructure and corruption. We can't even begin to speak. Even till date today, lot of unemployment is there. Lot of people in their youth just keep doing examinations for UPSC or SSC or this or that. Even a lot of people who have done IIT, IIM, or doctors, etc., they also start appearing for these UPSC exams, because everyone knows in India, once you become an IAS, an IPS, etc., there's a tons of monies to be made, lot of connections to be made, and no private job, nothing will be equivalent to that. So people keep trying for that actually. So that's the note I wanted to leave all of you today. 2 points is one. 2 points are the ones that I discussed today. So one portion was that India relationship with the US is at its kind of lowest point at this point of time. India doesn't hold like a moat in any area actually, whether it is talent or English speaking ability, infrastructure, technological prowess. None of those area India is a leader actually, and hence there is no moat. And as a result, USA is acting erratically because they know it doesn't matter actually. So that's one part. The second part is that even though a lot of expats or immigrant Indians are successful in the Bay Area or in the US, and it is in spite the fact that our systems in India, our education system in India, just leaves a lot of things to be desired, and as a result these people basically move out and become successful out there. So it's not a kind of like a stamp of approval that, oh, Indians are successful in the US, so that means Indians should be very great people. These people have been running away from India to be successful in the US actually. That's the fact that we will have to understand. And majority of these people are now US citizens, and each of them also basically studied like either MS or MBA, and worked in US MNCs either in India or in the US before they went on to become successful and take on the CEO or CXO positions in the US. So that's the note I want to leave you all. I hope you be prepared for Diwali. Enjoy time with your family. The weather has become colder, so please take care of your health. But I would definitely say that coming months and the next year is going to be challenging, both in terms of like how geopolitics shapes up our world, plus the unemployment that we are going to see both in the white collar and the blue collar jobs. So be prepared. Make sure that you basically think about these things. Prepare for alternative streams of money through which you can make money, whether it is stock market or whether you want to do some offline businesses or other kind of online businesses, whether you want to upskill yourself and things like that. Keep doing those things, because things are going to change in a massive way, right? Both AI will bring a lot of disruption, plus all these tariffs and geopolitics will also bring a lot of disruptions. And even today India is very very fragile, I'll have to say. And any kind of changes across the world will have negative consequences on India. And that's the reason I'm basically again and again pitching to everyone: be prepared. Times are going to be tough, both from an employment perspective as well as business perspective, so you have to be prepared. सो लेट मी रीड अ क्वेश्चन फ्रॉम मनन खुराना. सर पिछले 2022 से यही सुन रहे यू आर राइट मनन. यू नो Trump coming in 2025 has like really changed the narrative. I mean, we were thinking about like recession and all in the US, not necessarily in India, since 2022. But recession has not hit the US even till date today, right? However, the inflation remains high, white collar unemployment remains high, but overall employment and overall recession is not hit America just yet. However, I think 2025 has been a turning point for India, I would say, because things have taken a worse turn in India. The way Trump deals with Modi, US is dealing with India. This was not the case till like 2024, but 2025 has kind of revealed a completely different set of, you know, cards that have been dealt for India, and they are not good actually. So that's what I have been referring to. I'm not suggesting there will be a recession in India per se, but if you see any of the macro parameters like the car sales since last year, they are down. Home sales since last year, they are down. Even the economic growth that India was expected to have, even that is down. And the unemployment rate has increased in India as well. And given how the tariffs are playing out, right, like 50% tariff on India on most of the items, and the uncertainty in the IT industry, I've already covered about that, is going to be very, very challenging for the middle class and upper middle class, for which you and I belong to. I mean, the rich will figure out certain things for themselves. Poor don't care because they work at a very low level, right? They will still continue to get freebies, as you have seen. Every election campaign, every political party gives freebies to the poor people, so they will be taken care of with the freebies and all the jumlas and things like that. It is you and me, the middle class and the upper middle class, who will have to suffer. And the avenues through which we became the middle class or the upper middle class are now slowly dying actually. IT was a great enabler for all of us in the past 2 decades, and slowly it is also fizzling out actually. Saint to power. Yes, Trump is bad, but the LGBT, pro abortion, DEI craziness, and insane craziness on social media has stopped. Sure, that has stopped. I think that's a good thing. I agree with that. But it has also brought a lot of other challenges for India in particular and also US, which is in no way good. Like it's almost like you drop from the sky and go and basically hang on a palm tree, actually, right? आसमान से टपके और खजूर पे अटके, या there is a ditch in front of you and the well behind you, आगे कुआं पीछे खाई, right? So that's the situation we are in. So even though woke power has gone down, all the kind of left leaning worse issues are down now, but then the new geopolitical issues and realities, the tariffs, the unpredictable nature of US and specifically Trump has caused enough panic and problems for everyone. Next question, Manan Khurana. I am going for an MBA from IIM Udaipur for 2026-2028 batch MBA. Yeah, I think great for you, Manan. I'm not sure what quality IIM Udaipur has. It's a new IIM. Generally, like Calcutta and Bangalore, Indore, those IIMs are or Ahmedabad are little well known, and right now, if you see, even IITs are facing a placement crunch. Actually, in fact, with latest survey suggests that almost 38% of the people from IIT were not able to find jobs this year alone. It's a very, very concerning situation. I don't have the statistics of IIM, but I'm thinking it would be similar. One third of IIM graduates are also not going to have a tough time in finding roles. So I'll request you to consider these things before you basically invest your money and going for that. Saint of Power, right. In Amazon, they were literally forcing us to do DI and LGBTQ trainings. Sure, like every company, like I know, were forcing people to do LGBTQ trainings and DEI, etc. Now, with the new regime change, they have basically thrown it out of the box. But at the end of the day, right, you would wanted a positive thing, right? Just removing that and adding another negative doesn't solve the problem. Right now, we are in that situation. Kamal Arora, what about inequity between NRI and normal Indian? No income can match the gap. That part is true, right? Again, that's true for me as well. I lived in US for several years and I come back, so I can still run a comfortable life without having to depend upon a regular income from India. but that is not true for many of the Indians, right? So I find myself lucky in that sense that I was given the opportunity to live in the US, earn in the US dollars, and come back to India. But many people who are in India, who are dependent upon a regular income, it will be a very big challenge for them. And I also suspect that the education course that people like myself have taken, like pursue engineering, get into a IT job, and slowly grow towards a ladder and become like upper middle class and make money and things like that. Those ladders are no longer going to be open to people who are graduating now or in the next few years, right? A lot of automation, a lot of questions around outsourcing are now being asked, which were not the case earlier. So these are definitely challenging times. None of us have answers to it, but I still wanted to point these things out that these are real challenges, and the more we think about it, I think even some answers can come through as well. So that is why I wanted to illustrate these points and illuminate these challenges that are ahead of us as we move on to the next year. um, सेंट ऑफ पावर इन यूएसए आप नॉर्थ डकोटा अरकानसास जैसे बैकवर्ड स्टेट्स में गए हैं हाउ वाज द एक्सपीरियंस या आई हैव नॉट गॉन टू बोथ नॉर्थ डकोटा एंड अरकानसास बोथ ऑफ देम neither louisiana neither florida so the states I have lived actually are I mean I have visited a couple of states and then I have lived in California, Washington, New York, New Jersey, Texas, and basically I have also done in Maryland. These are the states I have lived in the US, and I've traveled actually, I would say, primarily in all these states, of course, and maybe Utah, Idaho, Arizona. But yeah, I don't think I've gone to like Arkansas or even Florida, North Dakota. I haven't even been to Northern or Southern Carolina. I've been to Virginia, though, West Virginia. I have been there. Yeah, so I don't have much experience in all these backward or middle of America states and all. So my worldview is mostly with the, either East Coast or mostly on the West Coast or a little bit on the East Coast or maybe South, maybe Texas. That's my worldview from US. Arvind, based Taiwan, what's your view on intense hate against Indians on social media, especially Twitter? It seems like a mega trend at the moment. Yeah, I mean, Indians seem to generate a lot of hate, and I think uh, there are two sides to it, right? So one is primarily I think that a lot of Indians lack civic sense, and especially when they go to countries like Canada, where the law and all is not that stringent, they act in a very different way and cause problem for the inhabitants there, and as a result people start like painting them in the same brush, right? Back in the day, like decade back and all, Indians were like positively prejudiced as people who do the back office IT work. 25 30 years back it used to be the call center or call center agents. Then IT picked up 20 years ago, so Indians became the IT. So I mean, the prejudices keeps changing. It could be positive, it could be negative. Nowadays, I think the negativism is trending quite a bit because of a lack of civic sense demonstrated by Indians, whether it is spitting or not following the laws of the land or hooliganism. I think Canada is very popular with all those things, especially Brampton area and Vancouver area. I think that has caused a lot of hate and a lot of questions. And then I think just Indian population is very huge, right? So I mean, if you combine China and India, that's like almost one fourth population of the entire world sitting in these two countries, right? So Chinese have their own different social media, so you don't see them on all the Facebook, Instagram, and other kind of Twitter platforms. But Indians are majorly on these platforms. So Indians are argumentative by nature, at least who are on social media, and the anonymity gives them the like the. It's almost like if you drink alcohol and then you basically let everything loose. That's why that's how people work in anonymous forums as well, and we see that basically play out, and it generates a lot of hate for Indians because of that. सेंट अपार सो आपने लिटरली यूएसए के गोल्डन पीरियड को एंजॉय किया है. I wouldn't say golden period, but yeah, I think it was a good fortune for me to be able to live in the US and earn money, work for Fortune 500 companies, start my own business. So yeah, I would say like I have gained a lot of experience, a lot of money working in the US, and it wouldn't have been possible if I were not there. And in fact, I got married in the US as well. So, I mean, I wouldn't have found my wife had it not been the US as well. मनन खुराना, एक बार साला रिसेशन आ ही जाओ, करे जाए करो, स्टॉक मार्केट क्रैश फॉर वी शेप्ड रिकवरी लॉल. Yeah, I mean, if you see the cycle, right? 2001 there was a crash, then 2008, 2009, so it was kind of 7 8 year kind of a cycle. Now the crash is very long due. Like after 2008, it is already 2005, 25, and still technical recession, etc., has not come. I think it would have come in 2020 because of the COVID. Lot of countries had to put stimulus and things like that. A lot of free money was given to uplift the markets, and even when the money kind of vanished, the markets are still up and things are still going. And then AI thing started coming in, generative AI. So again, a lot of investment started coming in. So I think once the plug gets pulled out from the AI when the bubble bursts, that's when I think the real recession will hit. Whether that will happen or not, God only knows. Like nobody can predict that. Saint of Power. I think Canada is extremely beautiful, like the Lake Banff and other parts. Yes, Canada has a lot of natural resources, a very less population, hardly. Canada has 35 million population, one tenth of the US, which is like close to 350 million. And Canada has much more land area than the US. They have the most number of freshwater lakes, and it is a very cold country as well. I would say even US is very beautiful. I've seen like Seattle and all, like awesome place. And then I've gone to Arizona and all, also very good. So I mean, US I would say has a lot more diversity. Like it has wetlands, it has oceans, it has hot climate, cold climate, desert. Uh, Whereas I think Canada is mostly cold actually across the place. So I think both Canada and US are very rich in natural resources. मनन खुराना सो दैट मेरी एमबीए एंडिंग के टाइम जॉब्स ही जॉब्स हो. हाँ. Yeah, that part is very hard to tell whether you will have jobs. Because I think by the time you graduate, AI would have like seeped into every sector by then, and uh, jobs would definitely get transformed. It will not be the same. So I doubt like we will have a situation where there are a lot of jobs. There are a lot of things will get transformed with AI in the next couple of years, especially in the next 2 years. Like 2026, 2027 will be very transformative years where we'll start seeing real like ROI from AI as to what use cases AI really gets embedded into and transform the entire industries. So I believe that by the time you graduate, there will be even lesser jobs than what we believe actually. Kamal Arora, is there any way out to survive recession? We do not know when will the situation improve. We are moving towards dead end. Kamal, I think I would just give you this narrative that there are a lot of crises that have happened, right? Even during COVID, if you remember back in 2020, we did not know when this will end or how it will end or what kind of challenges it will bring. Uh, so in 2020, I think India did relatively well when the first wave of COVID hit and India had to shut down for 3 months. But then in 2021, when Delta wave came in, even though the lockdown was not enforced, there were a lot of deaths that happened in India, in US, like pretty much everywhere in the world, right? And people did not take it very lightly because a lot of loved ones, including in our family also, we saw a lot of death and problem for people, right? Like people had long COVID and people were sent to ICUs and things like that. So I mean. But then by 2022 things started kind of improving, and now we don't even remember that we have survived the covid also, and people again started working and everything seemed to be fine. That's how I think that human being spirit is very very uh, you know resilient, that even if we do not see light at the end of the tunnel, we don't get ideas right now, but the new circumstances and the new environment in which we are pushed into, our DNA will basically mutate, our minds will mutate, and they'll figure out a solution in the new environment for us. So that's what my hope is, that the new year, the new environment, the new policies will bring us certain light. Because fact of the matter is, at least the middle class Indians and upper middle class Indians, where myself and yourself, people like yourself belong, in spite of the facilities provided by the government, whether it is being it Congress or AAP or BJP, SPBS, whichever party was there, which in whichever state you basically live, AIA, DMK, Trinamool Congress, etc. Uh, People have worked hard, and they have basically risen to where they are today in spite of the government, right? Me particularly never used a government hospital, never used any like government school for my kids or myself, and still we were able to reach and build some safety net for ourselves, and today we are back to India. That's how I think that we will find a way, even if everything seems to be at the dead end, but there will be definitely a way, even though it is not obvious to us at this point of time. Saint of power, having ample savings and being flexible to switch countries makes a man immune to recession or instability. You are very right. I mean, I would say I am coming from a place of privilege, that I was able to gain experience, live in different countries, and basically am back to India in a like a fire mode. Right, I made a podcast about that as well. I mean, if the cancer was not a problem in my family, we would have been like extremely, you know, happy, like traveling all over the place. Like I had a plan that we'll go to Northeast India, because that's something I haven't seen. I've heard very good things about it, and we would have gone to all the, Mukteshwar, Triambakeshwar, like all the Shivlings, right? 12 are there, right, in India. Those were some of the things that we wanted to do actually, but for now there is a break on that, and I'm hoping the day my wife regains the strength in her legs, cancer will manage, right? I mean, that's not a thing that I even have in my mind. I'll manage it. But once she gains, I think, strength in her legs, I want to go as a family, take both my kids and all to go on the tour of India. And because I am here in India now again, I don't know how long I'll be here or till when I'll be here. We are still young. I think we can travel, relatively we are healthy, so I want to leverage that time to explore all these jyotirlings, northeast India, maybe backwaters of Kerala, maybe some places in Wayanad and all, Tamil Nadu and all. I want to, and maybe Dharamshala, Leh Ladakh and all. So I think there's just tons of places in India that I haven't visited, and I want to check them out. Maybe not this year, so maybe next year. I'm like positive about that. That's something I want to do, and explore those places, so that my kids are also able to see what India has to offer. They shouldn't just see just the city life. That's what my thought process is, and I hope one day we will be able to do that. That is why I keep insisting that health is very very important, right? You may have all the money, you may have all the youth, but if the health doesn't permit, you'll not be able to leverage. So that's what having these thoughts and having saving uh, allows you to do that. So I definitely feel I'm pretty privileged from that perspective. But then I've worked for it very hard. I also have been very lucky to have this family, my wife, my kids along with me. So I also feel incredibly grateful for having this kind of a family. Both the kids are healthy, they're young and very energetic. They keep me on my toes. Even with whatever has we have gone through, I think we are still keeping everything together, and I think it has only brought us together even more with the like the health crisis that we have seen, and it has made us stronger. So I'm hoping maybe next year, we'll travel around India and check out, and then I'll probably even go to like somebody else was also mentioning to me, to go to like Malaysia. And I've been to Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur once, way back 2005 and all. But I want to see Malaysia again, check out like how it is and all. Though I've heard it is very cheap as compared to India. What Malaysia I know was expensive, but somebody told me it is very cheaper as compared to India, and so I want to try that out also. So there is Southeast Asia and India in particular. I want to basically move around. Yeah, Vietnam is also Cambodia, Vietnam, Indonesia. So all those places also I want to visit. And the only concern I have is like I'm vegetarian or vegan to be precise. So you have to basically figure that thing out, like how it will work out. And Amit Kumar also says like Da Nang and Hoi An. I think Ho Chi Minh City is what you're saying, Amit, I guess. And Amit Kumar also says how to feel good as less fortunate ones. Yeah. So Amit, you should check out my podcast around happiness. So I was not always like this, right? Like I was not born with a silver spoon. Uh, grew up in a like a lower middle class family, so to speak, and we have seen all the hardships, right? It was because of IIT. I happened to be at the right time at the right place, studied engineering in computer science, got my first job in software, and since then I kept on going. And at that point of time, India was growing, outsourcing was growing, always worked for US MNCs, kept on getting good salary, kept on rising up and up. And as a result, after like spending 2+ decades, I have reached a stage wherein I feel very fortunate, and I have some financial security to be able to not worry about all the short hiccups that keep coming, and focus on health, family, travel, and things like that. uh, Saint of Power, buy a sitting or standing cross trainer. Max it will cost only 30K, but it will extend lifespan. My recommendation: buy a sitting or standing cross trainer. Okay. Okay, I'll check out cross trainer. I anyway go to the gym every day actually. So I do like so I've made a podcast also on fitness and eating actually, diet and exercise. So I myself am pretty heavy right now. I'm like 94 kgs. I think during when my wife was hospitalized recently, I think I was not eating on the right time, or I was probably overeating or something like that. So now I've cut down on it, and I'm trying to be at least 90 kg, because that was my ideal weight, around like 90, 89, that kind of a thing. So I'm going to cut down on the sugars and all things that I'm eating. I'm cut down on my eating in the night, but still I actively actually do like 7-minute workout. It's on YouTube, you can check it out. And then I go for a run, like a jog, maybe like a half a kilometer or something, because I'm not able to run more here because of the pollution. And then I do like half an hour gym with the weight training and some strength training. And then I go for swimming actually. So I do like 10-15 minutes swimming as well. I am 5'8", actually, 173 centimeters. So I'm actually overweight. But my frame is like broad, so I may not look like very overweight. Maybe my bones are also pretty heavy. So I mean, my personal target is like if I am around like 90, that will be good for me. uh, so Amit Kumar, you will get vegan food only in those restaurants. Happy Cow made my life easy in Southeast Asia. Yeah, I've been to like Thailand, Malaysia, Singapore, and I've lived in Japan actually almost for 2 years. And recently also I went to Japan. So yeah, I know those places. And good part is at least they have options, much better options than you get in the US and Europe. So yeah, somehow we are going to manage it. Amit Kumar, as I mentioned, I'm like 5'8", 173 centimeters. A Saint of Power cross trainer focuses on almost all muscle and is like a combo exercise machine. Okay, I'll possibly get a cross trainer as well. Um, and then Amit Kumar obese. Yeah, I'm definitely obese. I think I'm in, yeah, obesity. Yeah, you're right. I am obese. But generally, if you see me standing, you will not feel as if I'm obese, because I have like a broad frame, and I look still good, I would say. Saint of power, your kids can also use that. Sure, happily, I'll check out what is a cross trainer. I think I probably am aware of what that machine is, but yeah, Amit Kumar Happy Cow is the app. Okay, I'll check out the Happy Cow app also once I travel there. But for now, I'm in India, right? I'm still in Delhi. So once I go there, maybe next year or something, then I'll check those things out. So, okay, that's all from my side. If you are in North India or Delhi region, enjoy the cold weather. I think winter season have started quite early this time around, because even in September it was not that cold, and immediately in October it immediately became from like warm to real cold. In fact, I've stopped even using like fan, and in the night we have to shut down the fan also. Like, I'm not using my air conditioning as well, so it's a welcome change. We'll see how long this remains, or again in next couple of days it will become warmer. But I'm also seeing the uh, even the sunlight also basically goes off at around 6:30 p.m. in the evening. In morning also it comes at around like after 6 only, right? um, Amit Kumar, I'm in Bangalore. It's always like that. Yeah, I've lived in Bangalore also quite a bit. You're right. For Delhi, it's a big deal, right, to get a cool weather, because uh, even till like the Shara also, it was not that great. It was like warm weather and things like that. So it has just changed now, which is good. So with that, I'll take your leave. I hope you enjoy your time, spend time with your family, eat right, sleep right, and we'll be back again with another podcast. Till then, take care. Please like, share, and subscribe. If there is any other topic, let me know. I'll be happy to cover that. And bye.